Hey, Mr. Clash here, and in this video I'm going to cover the confirmed quality of life changes that are going to be coming in the next update and my prediction of when that next update will be, as well as 12 quality of life improvements that I personally would like to see in the game, and I know that others also would like to see some of these quality of life changes in the game. So the quality of life changes that have been confirmed by Darian, the community manager, are: number one, that the siege machine will now provide 30 XP points instead of 1. When you donate that siege machine, instead of getting 1, you will get 30 XP points. Also with the siege machine, the game will automatically default to the last deployment you used. Now what that means is, if you used the siege machine in your last attack, then in your next one it will default to that setting for your next attack. If you did not use the siege machine and you used your CC troops as normal, then in your next attack it will be default CC troops as normal. If you want to go between them, it means you need to toggle before. Either way, it's a little bit of an interesting update. I think it really is mainly going to apply for people that are making their own siege machines so that they can keep on raiding without having to toggle every time they want to do one thing or another. It doesn't really affect me as a Town Hall 10. I pretty well use the siege machine all the time these days, so that's not really something that's going to affect me. Also, in the next update confirmed is that there will be no troops as a default selection. So you remember, you might have been sitting there, you're clicking next a few times, and the default troop maybe was some barbs or archers or whatever the far left icon was, and you accidentally missed next and you touched the screen and a damn barb dropped and you're like, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Here I am sitting in some high league and I didn't want to attack this base because it's just ridiculous, and now I've dropped, so I'm faced with dropping 35 trophies by surrendering or launching an all-scale attack just to try and get a star. Okay, that's going to be a thing of the past, because when you start an attack, there will be no troops selected by default. That means you can accidentally touch the base and nothing will actually drop. You will need to manually select a troop if you want to deploy it. So finally, I think that one has been in the works for quite a few years actually. Okay, also confirmed by Darian is that replays will have a new speed. Currently we have number 1 speed, or 1 time. We have twice as fast, and we have 4 times as fast. There will be a new speed, and that will be half speed. So it's half of 1. So basically slow motion. So we can watch an attack in slow motion. So you could just imagine a 3-minute attack. You could just whack it at half speed and do a very good precise base analysis and attack analysis while it's playing at half speed. And of course for your clanmates, re-watching an attack to see what actually went on, timings and so on, half speed, great option. That's going to happen in the next update. When is the next update? My personal opinion is it's going to be the Halloween update in October, because we are going to have a Halloween update anyway. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to have an update, let's just say sometime in December, and then a month later we have another update in October. It might happen. It doesn't make a lot of sense for me that that's what's going to happen. So that's just my feeling on it. I just feel that the next update will actually be the October Halloween update. Just my feeling. Okay, so now let's talk about my wish list of 12 items that I would like to see quality of life changes in the game. The number 1 on my list is to either put more icons on the bottom of the screen or reduce their size so we can have more, or whatever, because playing on Android and only seeing 13 icons when I used to actually see more until Supercell changed it, and then I was told I will grow to like it. Well, here I am, well over 18 months later, and I still absolutely hate it. It's a pain, it's a bother, If I have to scroll, if I have 14 icons, then it means the spell's right over at the right hand side I have to scroll to. If I didn't want to drop that first troop, when I scroll to the spell, the first troop goes off the screen and I don't see it, and it might have been a cleanup troop or something else. Just the fact I have to scroll left and right is just putting an extra burden on the deployment system. It's time taken. It's just frustrating. And in terms of my tab, as soon as I have to start scrolling, my tab actually doesn't want to work. I either just can't scroll, or the thing won't scroll, or then when it does, it's all delayed and lagged. So more icons on the bottom of the screen. I don't care if you need to make them smaller. I don't care if they need to be 2 rows of icons. Just fix it. 13 icons on the bottom of the screen is just not enough. And when you consider that you've got your heroes, they're 2 icons. And if you're not a Town Hall 11, if you are with the Warden, you've got 3 straight off the bat, which means you can only have 10 other icons. And if you're going to say, let's just go with this, you're going to have 2 heal, 2 rage, a jump, a poison, and a freeze. There's 5. So straight off the bat, you've only got 5 left. What attack are you doing with 5 troops? What can you do? Let's say you're going to have a golem. Maybe you're going to put some hogs. That's 1 and 2. You're going to have some wizards. You're going to have some wall breakers. That's 4. I can only choose 1 other troop. And if that is going to be some bowlers to try and help with that, because I'm doing a bit of a gobo ho, there's my 5. If I want a single archer, if I want a baby dragon, if I want anything else involved in that, then I start having to add more troops. And of course, the CC is a troop as well, and the CC spell is a troop. You've got the 3 heroes on a Town Hall 11, CC and CC spell, there's 5. Then I've got my rage, heal, and jump, freeze, and poison. There's 5, there's 10, and that means I can only have 3 troops. And yet if I had another 5, I'm looking at 15 icons, bang, I'm scrolling. Absolutely hate it. Okay, number 2 on my list is to pause the boost. How many times have you started a boost session and then something in your real life comes up? You've just dropped those gems, whatever it is, something in your real life has come up, and it's like, damn it, I just started the boost. Got to put the tab down and walk away. You've just wasted the gems that you've just spent on the boost. It'd be nice to be able to say, something's come up, great, I'll just pause the boost. Because remember, they can pause the boost, because when there's a maintenance, your boost is paused. So if we could pause the boost, that'd be good. Number 3, and that is that the replays of arranged wars last longer than 24 hours. 24 hours after the war ends, the arranged war replays disappear. Now, I understand if someone was doing a 15-minute war, they could do so many of these 15-minute wars, there'd be endless replays available. I'm sure you could have a default option of 2 only available for a period of time, whatever, if they're into these 15-minute war things. But most of us in the leagues doing league-type wars, 24 hours and the war's not available anymore. That's just really not a convenient thing, especially when our other wars, our random spin wars, can be available for 4 or 5 days. So number 4, let's say I'm doing a raid. Let's say it doesn't matter what I've got trained up. I might have a Queen Walk Barch. I might have a Queen Walk Giants and Wizards. Whatever. I drop healers and I've got the same army trained up. Let's say I've got 6 healers. I drop 4 healers on the Queen, and then suddenly I find I drop a whole bunch of wizards. Now, I don't know what order I need to drop the troops. And yet currently the troops will just pop out of the trained up barracks when there's space. So I might end up with like 8 healers in my next configuration. I don't want 8 healers. This one is that when you're doing raiding, your village raiding, if you have the same army trained up, whatever troop you drop, that's the one that comes out of the trained barrack. If you drop a wizard comes out. If you drop a giant comes out. That way you maintain the same troops every time because you had the identical ones made up. Even if you didn't have the identical ones made up, whatever you drop, only replace that same, like for like. Number 5, remove the green flags from the archer towers. They're hideous, they don't go, they are just so out of place. Maybe not quite as bad as the electric walls of the old Town Hall 10, not really matching the rest of the theme of Town Hall 10, but these awful green flags or pennants on the archer towers, they don't add anything at all. They just ruin the whole look. Number 6 is that when you are harvesting your loot from the treasury, instead of having to harvest, just press one button that says harvest everything. Give us the option to say, I only want to harvest elixir, or I only want to harvest dark elixir, and leave the rest in the treasury. Number 7 is that you are able to copy the enemy's war base after the war has finished. So after the war has finished, you can copy the enemy's war base, ideally only if you were in the war. That way, people who come to visit can't look at your previous wars and start copying enemy war bases or even your own. Only after the base has been attacked can you copy it, and the same with village raiding. Copy the village base of someone you attacked. So you had to have attacked them first, then copy their base. You can't just go to the number 1 player in the world and go copy his base. No, I don't think that's very good, but only bases that you have experienced in attacking situations, and only after the attack is finished. Number 8 is, I'd like to see a no dip option in the war search. That is, and you have to rely on Supercell to match you by town halls. Town hall matching and then no dip. That means the game itself won't allow you, once you've chosen no dip on the war search, when you get matched equal town hall to town hall, because that's the only way this will work, then the option for you as a Town Hall 10 to dip on a 9 will be grayed out. You won't be able to. You can hit your own Town Hall and up, but you won't be able to dip. Now, the system already knows when you're a visitor and you can't attack. It already knows when you've done 2 attacks and you can't attack anymore. So I don't think this would be that hard to implement into the game to enable you to have a game where it doesn't let you dip. Number 9. This is a little bit of a contentious one, and that is if you are in the war. Now, I'm talking about random spin here because League Wars already have this rule. League War rule is if you leave the clan during the war, you cannot come back and attack. This is already something in leagues, and this is due to fair play. I would like to see the same thing in random spins, and that is if you leave the clan and you are in war and you have not done your attacks, when you come back, you can no longer do your attacks. Your option to attack is wiped out. Now, I know that something can be done and put in place because when you come back in after you've left, you automatically have the designation of new. Now, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be that hard to code that a person that comes in after war starts, whoever they are, cannot attack. So if you're in war and you leave and you come back, you can't attack. It's grayed out. So any idea that I'm going to go away and get a siege machine or some clan troops from somewhere else, no, suck it up. Have that person come to you. But if you're in war and you leave and you come back, then you can't attack. I think that would try, at least in some way, try and help generate a little bit of extra fair play. Number 10, when you hit the quick train button, to only train what's missing. If you have a poison spell sitting there and a poison spell is in your quick train option, it won't let you hit train. You have to delete the poison spell and then retrain it. In this way, you would say, yes, I want to train this army. You press train. It sees there's a poison spell there already, and so it trains everything else except the poison spell. Or let's say you wanted to train, part of your quick train army was 12 wizards, but there were already 2 there. You hit quick train and it will only train an extra 10 wizards. So it's only training what is missing on the quick train. That's, I would like to see that one. Also, when you are boosting, to reduce the clan castle request timer, because your armies are up trying to request troops, and I can't unless I spend like 15 to 20 gems. It's like I'm already boosting, and now to request sooner, I have to drop an extra 15 to 20 gems. And if I do that for, let's say, 6 raids, because maybe I can get a raid every 10 minutes because I'm on boost, then suddenly I'm just dropping up to 150 gems, depending on what I need to gem to make this happen on my timer, how quick I am going back to back. At a bare minimum, if it's 10, I'm spending an extra 60 gems already on top of what I've spent for boosting. Reduce request timer when you are on boost, only when you're on boost. Number 12 on the list is to be able to move the special items. Christmas trees is a special item, a Halloween item, any selective special event items that pop up on your base. They might not be in the long grass. They might be in the long grass, but you don't like where they are. All of these options, whatever it is. Number 12 is that you are able to move them around by spending gems. They're not all completely 100% movable like your base or like the decorations you buy, but the special items, you get to move them around by spending gems. You get to move it to a location, and then the thing will say, is this the location you want? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Press the button, and there goes the gems. Whether it's 100 gems or 500 gems like it is to say rename your village again. Whatever it is, let us move the special items by spending gems. And there you have it. That is the quality of life changes that are confirmed in the game, as well as my list of 12 wish list quality of life changes that I would like to see in the game that I think would possibly make the game more enjoyable. The no dip option, it's not so much a quality of life change as a little bit of a difference in the gameplay, but it's still something that I feel would add to the enjoyment of at least war spinning. And to make that happen, if that meant that Supercell would only do that with designated breakdowns on a search, because a search could take hours and hours because your breakdown might be impossible to match. If Supercell said, well, we're only going to do this, for instance, if you had 5 Town Hall 11s, 5 10s and 15 9s, well then so be it. I know then that if I have that, I can do a no dip war with that number. Whatever it is, if Supercell gave us a small little range of different breakdowns, even if it was 5 or 10 different breakdowns we could search with a no dip option, I would like to see that. There are some others, but I know I've heard people say the ability to message people in the game and so on. I'm not into that because this is not a messenger, it's a game. And we've got outside sources that can do that. Let's just not clog up the server systems and everything with just people messaging each other in the game. But these 12 on top of the confirmed ones, I think would be a great addition to the game. If you have any others that you would like to see in the game, quality of life changes, do please put them in the comments below. That's all I have for this video. Do let me know which one of these, if you agree with them, disagree, if one of them is your favorite or not, do please let me know that as well. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.